Cities are amazing cultural epicenters filled with the energy of millions. Cities and urban areas represent dense and complex systems of interconnected services. They're an amazing example of human symbiosis. However, there is one thing that cities face which affects so many things like the environment and causes so many problems, and that is sprawl. The definition of sprawl means to spread out, and that is what urban sprawl is. Urban sprawl is a spread of cities, and sprawl is a quote-unquote solution to the demand of going to a city. Suburbans are formed with sprawl, and we can easily see the problems. Suburbans are not fun. It might be calmer compared to the city, but that's the thing Alcatraz is calm. I mean, yeah, it's true, but boring and creepy, especially with the photo editing feature added. Sprawl gives us a strip mall with so much parking, which really is not needed, and the inefficient suburban home. And also that condo apartment place, like, what do you call it, townhouse? No, that doesn't make any sense. Sprawl makes us car dependent. With the inclusion of minimum parking requirements, the minimum parking requirements are like set by cities to regulate how many parking spots a building should have. Like, a 2,000 square foot restaurant needs 11 parking spaces and something like that. This makes us horribly car dependent and makes the city less accessible. Sprawl forces us to use cars and not more efficient and safer modes of transportation. Sprawl is usually low density and single use, and you know that stereotypical suburb, which makes divisions between residential commercial space, it makes us more car dependent. Low density isn't sustainable. Cities with less appeal like Detroit these days have 300,000 buildings, of which 70,000 are abandoned and not used. Those buildings take up much needed land, which is becoming more and more valuable with our growing human population. The typical suburban is overly glorified and overrated. I lived in a suburb, started to become an urban place, and honestly, it's a bit boring. Car dependency is prevalent, as it is very hard trying to use public transportation with a spread of places, maybe except buses, but still. Sprawl doesn't give its inhabitants a sense of community. Sprawl gives us cookie-cutter communities, which don't have that true sense of community. Cities need to be walkable, cities need to be easily accessible, and cities need to have a sense of community. Mixed-use, high-density buildings are appealing and are effective. The newly opened Wilshire Grand in Los Angeles is mixed-use for businesses, tourists, and residents. That way it lasts longer and effectively uses the place's space. Mixed-use buildings reduce car dependency, as it is walkable or commutable by bike, and can affect overall happiness in a good way. Mixed-use also reduces our environmental footprint, and with our growing population, this effectively fits more people. Cities should remove the minimum parking requirements for most buildings. The requirements inhibit easy accessibility, increase the environmental footprint, and is more expensive, as it is paid through taxes and everything else, except when we drive. Cities should build infrastructure projects that are eco-friendly, sustainable, and not prone to cost overruns. Cities should also build projects that help build a city's sense of community. And no, not just another shiny new stadium. We need projects that are the most meaningful and can help build sustainable and good cities. Thank you.